what's going on guys, I'm Cartere, and in this video I'm going to be sharing 5 more Rainbow Six Siege tips for noobs. So, and when I say noobs, I mean new players. I'm not saying you've just started playing the game, you're a noob or you don't play the game. Like I am a noob myself. That's why I'm making tips for noobs and not doing like advanced pro tips or something like that, because I want to get to that stage but I'm not there yet. So I'm trying to help out the rest of the people who are just starting playing the game, and we can, you know, have fun together. But first tip is related to Kapkan traps. As you can see, I am here playing as Kapkan, and basically with Kapkan traps I see a lot of people just placing them right up here, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to crouch down and place them low on door frames, because when you place them low, people are way less likely to see that when they're trying to run through and rush the objective or something like that. I generally suggest placing them like very low on door frames next to the objective. Like, is this a good room? This is a very good room to place a Kapkan trap on. That, and this would also be a good room because people probably won't expect that. You want to try and do things that people don't expect and try and conceal your intentions. You definitely don't want to be placing these super high, because look at how easy it is to spot it when it's super high. Like, it's super easy. It's super easy. And if someone is trying to shoot through this door, let's barricade it up. Someone's trying to shoot through this door and they're trying to, you know, get some headshots or something, then they're going to eventually start seeing that line. Now if they were shooting here and then they didn't see whatever, and then it was like, okay, there's no one through here, they might just run through and die. You got a much better chance of getting someone with a Kapkan trap when the trap is much lower. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is you can vault barricades after hitting them in one hit. Now you need to hit right on the top right of the X, right there, and then you can vault through. Usually it will take you 2 hits, I believe, to get through that, but let me show you again. It's like, you see, that is the top layer of the X. You want to go to the second layer of the X, and then you can just vault through. So let's do that one more time, and then we can vault through. And that's a pretty good tip. That's a pretty good tip. Shout out Mr. Squirtle for sending me that tip, because I definitely did not know that before this. As you can see, if you do this normally, you cannot just jump out. You need to do both. Tip number 3 is don't run straight towards the objective when you're playing either on attack or defense. To be honest, if you're playing on defense, you don't just want to be posted up in the defensive room or the objective room. Now you can in some cases, and obviously you can run to the objective in some cases in attack, but try to mix it up. Think about what your enemies may be doing and what you can do to counteract them. For example, what I usually do, if I'm on attack and let's say there's an objective on the 2nd floor and there's 3 floors on this map. I don't remember all the map names, to be honest. As I said, I am a noob. But there's 3 floors on this map. I'd go to the 3rd floor instead of just attacking straight directly to the 2nd floor, because most defenders are going to be on the 2nd floor. Most of them are going to be ready for people attacking the 2nd floor. So if you get on the 3rd floor and you start dealing with the roamers, who likely have either gone 1 floor up or 1 floor down, because that's generally what you should do when you're roaming. I will be making a roaming tip guide on that. If you go 1 floor up, then you may run into a roamer, but you'll definitely run into less resistance than if you had went straight towards the objective. The best way I would suggest attacking is to try and pick off your enemies so they have less people than you, so you have the numbers advantage, and then you also have the psychological advantage. Because you've got the numbers advantage, they'll look at that and they'll think they're in an unfavorable position, and that may cause them to play worse, and it may enable you to grab that W. So definitely, if you have the chance, try and take a different route to the objective. Don't just go the most obvious route, because that will likely get you killed. Tip number 4 is use the destructive environments to attack from unexpected directions. Now, Siege is a very different game from most of your first-person shooters. Now, there are games that do have world destruction in them. For example, Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, and I think Battlefield Hardline didn't really have any destruction in it, but Battlefield games have had destruction in them. You can utilize the maps the same way in Rainbow Six Siege, but there's a lot more focus on it because these are very close, compact maps, and the maps are designed around you being able to break through certain parts of the map and create new lines of sight into places and new avenues to get to the objective. And that's what a lot of Siege is about. It's about not going through the most obvious path and trying to find a different way in. So if you've got breach charges, definitely use them. And if you have a shotgun, definitely try and make a little murder hole or something. Or even if you've got an automatic rifle or any other gun, you can try and create little holes or little lines of sights in different parts of the environment that your enemy may not expect you to attack from. There's also bullet penetration. So even if a guy is behind a wall, if that wall is a wall that is destructible, and you'll learn this over the course of the game, you'll learn how to identify destructible walls and undestructible walls. Like sometimes you may get it wrong, but generally you'll know, oh, okay, this is a wall that looks very sturdy, I probably can't shoot through that and whatnot. So definitely think about bullet penetration when you have the chance. If you see someone behind one of those barricades, you can definitely shoot them through that. And you can shoot them through a variety of plastered walls. I actually got shot through a couch the other day. I think it was today actually. I didn't even realize you can get shot through couches, but you can. Bullet penetration is in this game, and definitely keep that in mind. Also keep that in mind when you're trying to think about where your cover is and what kind of position you're in, because you might be in cover right next to a wall that can be shot through, and then you're really not in cover, are you? Tip number 5 is use breach charges and other loud entry methods as distractions. Now, if you want to go in through a barricade to a room, for example, then I would say break a few entrances open so that the enemy doesn't have one point of entry to focus on. Because I've seen a lot of people just breach a window or whatever and then go straight in and then die. Or breach a hatch and then go straight in and then die. Like, don't do that. Don't breach a door and then go straight in. If you're gonna breach it and you wanna go straight through that door, then at least wait like 20 seconds to see if anyone tries to peep out or if anyone's trying to shoot anyone that's coming through that direction. Or use your drone even. But if you have the chance, then I definitely say open up as many entry points into the room that you want to get into as possible, as it will force your enemies to look in different directions, and that can allow you to get the jump on them, get the kill, and get the W. Now, I hope this video helps you guys out. Be sure to join my Discord channel where you can play Rainbow Six with me and find other people to squad up with. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching and liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to leave tips down below. Peace.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this warmth I share with you.